last video I posted, I told you guys to ask me some questions because I was going to be with Blake again. And I thought it was a perfect opportunity to have you guys ask us questions, or me, or him, about anything. And I got a lot of really, really good questions from all of you through, like, I got some from Twitter, and I got some in my inbox, and I got some just posted in the comment section of that video that I already posted. So today we're going to be answering these questions that you guys asked us. He's back from tech school and everything, and we're filming this from our brand new living room in our apartment in Las Vegas. However, we're on the ground.
Yeah, we don't have any furniture.
We don't have any furniture yet, so or internet, or a TV, or anything, really. We just have kitchen stuff and, like,
my guitars.
Guitars and, like, glasses and stuff like that. So, that's pretty much it. Anyway, so we're going to jump into these questions, and I hope you guys enjoy. Ty Jones asks, how do you keep your girlfriend into you while you're miles away?
Well, mostly communication and sending letters and phone calls, and it's as long as you have a strong, like, relationship and bond before
you go away,
yeah.
Then it'll probably, and as long as your girlfriend's not like a bitch.
As long as she's not someone who you would.
If she's into you before you go and you are definitely staying together while you're away, there shouldn't be a problem. You don't really have to worry about your girlfriend staying into you or your boyfriend staying into you. If they're a good girlfriend or boyfriend, they'll just do that by themselves. Ty Jones asks, do you make a lot of enemies in basic BMT?
No, I didn't make any enemies, but that's because you just don't be a dick when you're there. Just do what you're told, and how you're told, and when you're told, and do everything as best you can. No one's perfect. Don't start fights or whatever with people. Don't make unnecessary problems. Just use your head. Yeah, just try and fly under the radar as much as you can. Eventually they'll learn your name. It's okay.
Is PT difficult in BMT?
For me, it was I guess difficult at first and getting used to it because I had never been much of a PT person. But they kind of just throw you into it, and you just do it, and you get through it, and you get over it, and you get better at it. It doesn't get easier, you just get better. Just like that's what BMT is. It doesn't get easier, you just get better. You
should probably, at least kind of sort of prepare for it. Like, at least be able to do a few push-ups and run for a little while, and then you should be just fine. Can you talk to NCOs like they're your friend or like a coworker?
When you first get to basic, don't try that. Ever.
Don't do that.
You'll learn how to talk to them in basic, and when you get to tech school, it's a little bit
more slack?
Yeah, for lack of a better word. It's depending on where you go, and depending on what squadron you're in, and all that stuff, and depending on the NCO, you can talk to them a little bit more relaxed, but you're still in training, and you're not in the Air Force yet, because you don't have that badge.
The badge is what matters.
Yep.
Mava 1660 asks, first cars for you both, and what kind of cars do you have now?
Well, right now we have a Kia Rondo.
2009. It's like a cute little. It's cute. It's cute. It's a nice car. I like it.
Yeah. And then first cars for me, I really like I guess more for us. I really like one of those new Kias, like the Kia Optima.
Yeah, the Kia Optimas are good looking cars these days. Not the older ones, but like the newer ones, they're looking pretty snazzy.
I think more of a fun car that I'd definitely like to have, I might let you drive, would be the Lexus IS250 or one of the new 5.0 Mustangs.
Selena Toralba, I believe, asks, Blake, how do you like being in the Air Force? How do you feel being away from Caty for so long?
I love being in the Air Force. It's awesome.
So far, so good. But you just started your job, so.
I guess, yeah.
So I guess you're still a new guy.
Yes,
You're still new.
But I mean, it depends on how depends on your job. I guess it depends on what you make of it. If you go in with a bad attitude, like, oh, this is gonna suck and I hate this, and you're already in basic, then
it's probably gonna suck.
It's gonna suck for you, and that's your fault. If you treat it like a new adventure and a new experience, which is how I treat it, because I've never done any of this stuff before, and it's pretty freaking awesome. And I get to do things as a 20-year-old, which I was 19 when I went in, but
that you wouldn't have ever been able to do in the civilian world.
No one else my age would be able to do it.
I mean, like our home, there are F-16s just flying around and taking off. Like that's just home, and that's just what we like have to go through every day.
A bunch of different jets and stuff, and it's really cool just to see them do their stuff. And you get to experience it, and it's right there. And
you deal with really cool people too. Like you like all the people that you're working with right now. They're all really cool people.
And you meet people from everywhere in the country.
And you can go anywhere too. Like there are so many different travel opportunities and just all kinds of cool stuff. How do you feel being away from Caty for so long? Back when we weren't together.
Back in tech school and BMT, it sucks at first.
It really does.
There's no way you can make it not suck at first. But you get over it, and you use the time that you're given, like for letters and phone calls and everything, to use that and as much as you can, and you appreciate it, and you don't take it for granted. And when tech school comes, depending on your job, it depends on your length of tech school, but you get more contact, and the end of your tech school comes closer and closer, and it just gets easier and it gets better.
It does. The Sugar Shannon asks, are you guys already married? Yes.
Yes.
We are already married. We didn't exactly announce anything or make a big deal out of it, but yeah, we're already married. We got married May 24th, 2013, so we've been married for 3 months? May, June, July, August. Yeah.
Just over 3 months.
3 months.
3 months and 2 days.
Yeah. RayCat90 asks, what have been the best and worst things about being away from each other for so long? The worst, well, I mean, we're away from each other. I mean, that's pretty much the worst thing in itself. You want to be near them all the time. But you don't really have that option. But some of the best things, you get to focus on yourself and be more independent. It's kind of nice to have your own time. Yeah, have that independence and just do your own thing for a little while. But it also makes you kind of appreciate the little things, and you don't take each other for granted. Ever. After that time, after he was in basic and tech school, those visits in tech school were like the greatest things in the world, and those phone calls in basic were like the most amazing things in the world, and those letters running down to the mailbox just so I could read your words is like, it just makes you appreciate everything else in the relationship so much more. When is the wedding? We already had it.
It already happened.
It already happened. We got married on May 24th, legally. We went to the courthouse and just did the courthouse shindig. It's pretty cool. And then neither of us are really big wedding people. I didn't want to spend a huge amount of money on a dress or table settings or a photographer. It just didn't seem very necessary for us. And so we just had a barbecue with our friends and family with a nice cake.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. Do you think you've changed since the Air Force? And how about your relationship? Is it stronger?
Yes.
Yes, stronger?
Changed.
Yes, you've changed. Okay.
Since the Air Force.
How?
It's kind of hard to think of how I've changed from my perspective, but I think from other people's perspective, like Caty, she can definitely tell, and I just feel like I've changed quite a bit. Hopefully in all the good ways.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest changes that I've noticed in you is that you just kind of seem more proud, and you more motivated, I guess, just to do more things, and we get more stuff done, and you carry yourself in a more upright, proud, strong way. Rena Era Bela asks, what are the advantages of going active duty compared to reserve?
Oh wait, for the last question,
Oh.
yes.
Yes, you've changed.
Yes.
Yes, our relationship has changed, not in a bad way, but it has become more strong, I think.
Yes.
I think, yeah, I think everything about it has been a positive impact so far, anyway, I hope. Okay,
yeah.
Reina Era Bela asks, what are the advantages of going active duty compared to reserve?
Well, I really don't know a whole lot about reserve because I'm not reserve, but I have a couple friends who are, and pretty much when you go reserve, you only work.
It's a weekend a month, isn't it?
It's 1 week in a month and 2 weeks is summer or something like that.
Yeah.
And you.
It's a part-time job.
Pretty much. And what I
So you get paid as a part-time job. So the pay is different. The benefits are different.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. I don't think you get full TRICARE coverage like you do if you go active duty.
Yeah. And another thing is that when you're on reserves, you have to find another job to work during the week.
Yeah.
And the weekends that you don't work, pretty much.
Yeah. The benefit to going reserve, though, is that you get to go home. You don't go to a duty station in the middle of nowhere. You get to go home, except for that 1 weekend a month or whatever, where you have to travel to the nearest reserve base and do the training exercises there. So reserve is great if you want to stay home.
And have a job.
And have a job at home. But if you're, on the adventurous side of things like we are, then active duty's better.
Yep.
Just really depends on what your goals are. Did you go to college? If not, will you, and when? I'm currently enrolled in college. All my schooling is online, so all I need is an internet hookup, which is perfect for military life, I guess. What do you use to film, edit, and upload your videos? It's a Sony Handycam HDR CX110 is what the camera is. And then the editing program I use is PowerDirector 9, except I'm getting kind of fed up with it, so I think I want to get a different one. I hear good things about Adobe Premiere Pro, so I think I might check that out. But we don't have an iMac either, so we don't do Apple really in this household, except for my phone. So I don't think, I won't be using Final Cut Pro or anything like that. What did you turn to keep your mind off of him? I didn't. I really didn't. If you've ever tried meditating before, when you just totally clear your mind and be all zen about everything, it's really, really, really hard to do if you're not very good at it. And so if you're sitting there meditating, you focus on your breathing and you start just listening to your breath and breathing, and I start counting, but then you start thinking I wonder what I'm going to do after I finish meditating. Ooh, do I want dinner? And then you start thinking, and that's kind of what you're not supposed to do. But it's almost like that. When he was away, I would be focusing on one thing at a time, whether it be doing the dishes or cooking dinner, and then it would be on a second tier of thought. It would be, oh, I'm making fish tonight for dinner. Oh, Blake would really like that. And, you start kind of thinking, you're focusing on one thing at a time, but then on another completely separate thought bubble is just kind of how you wish that person was there with you to experience what you're doing. You never left my mind.
Yeah.
You were always on my mind in some way, shape, or form, basically. Has the Air Force worked with you and your benefits because you will be living on base soon together?
Well,
we took that question to mean, how have the benefits helped you be together as a couple? If we weren't married, we would not be in an apartment right now. I would have no coverage with TRICARE or anything. He would get a lower pay, and we wouldn't even be able to live together because
I wouldn't be here.
I wouldn't be here right now, basically. If we weren't married, I wouldn't be here right now, simply because that's just how it works. You're not allowed to live off base if you're not married, and you're not allowed to until you're a higher. Until you're like a senior airman almost, or depends on how much room they have in the dorm. Right. So, but yep. But at this point in time, as an airman first class, we would not be able to be together unless we were married. Yep. Can you make a video about marriage in tech school? Says Christina Ocampo 08. And I believe, she asked twice. Can we talk about marriage in tech school? So... Well, okay. First of all, when you're in tech school, do not marry another tech schooler. Don't do it. Don't. If you want to date them... Go for it.
sure, if you, I mean, just
if you want to sleep with them, go for it.
Wear a condom because
lots of STDs in tech school.
Yes, especially if you go to Shepherd, that's like the #1 STD tech school.
That's so gross.
Yeah.
Use protection. Be smart about it.
But also, just remember that when you're in tech school, you're pretty much surrounded by those people. You've only known each other for a couple months or something, and
it's just not a good idea to marry someone that you don't really know.
Just purely for the benefits. Don't do that.
Yeah, it's just not a good idea to marry tech schoolers. That being said, if one of you is either in the military already and has been for a long time, and you had a relationship before the other person joined, or if one of you is a civilian like me and we had a relationship before the military, or any situation like that, if you are in tech school and somebody else, your significant other is not, marry them in tech school.
Only if you want to get married, and only if you think it's a good idea.
You're right. Well,
don't get
use
married
your
just
head.
because you want to get married because you get more money.
Yeah, don't use marriage for the benefits reasons. It's more than that. Obviously, marriage is a big deal. If you are absolutely 120% going to get married, it's going to happen, and you're trying to figure out if you should do it in tech school or after you graduate tech school, do it in tech school. The only reason being, well, several reasons being, your pay will be higher, so you can have a savings account saved up for when you graduate tech school. So moving won't hurt as bad. That's what we did. We got married in tech school, while he was in tech school, because his paycheck was higher. He was receiving basic allowance for housing, BAH, where I was living.
Yep, and family separation allowance.
Family separation allowance.
200 or something.
It's like $200. Is it per month? $200 a month. Okay. And then what was your BAH in tech school? What was my BAH? I guess is where I was living. Was it like?
It was like 12 or something.
Okay, so like $1,200 extra just because we were married in tech school. Plus, we got married in tech school, so I would be on his orders.
Mm-hmm.
And that
she gets put on amendments, and they're basically another piece of paper that goes along with your orders. So your orders are your actual orders, and then your amendments. And that's one set of orders, and that just says that.
That allows me to travel with him, and me be paid for by the Air Force to go with him wherever his duty station will be. So this is especially important if you're going to get married and your significant other is like being stationed in like Japan or Germany. If you weren't married in tech school and you waited till afterward,
good luck.
You wouldn't be on their orders, so you would have to fly yourself out on your own paycheck, not being paid for, and move all your stuff separately without Air Force help or assistance at all to wherever that location is. So it is monumentally more expensive than if you got married in tech school. So the camera died when we were answering questions and the microwave is going, so that's what's going in the background. Anyway, how long did you date before deciding on marriage? So we before he went to basic, we had dated for about a year. And
almost,
then
yeah.
And then we got married. I think we had been dating for about a year and a half or so. Deciding on marriage, when did you decide that you wanted to marry me?
A couple weeks into basic, I realized that I needed her to be in my life, and
Couldn't live without you.
Yeah, and I can't really imagine spending all that time with her before basic and then not after basic.
Yeah.
It just didn't work.
Just didn't happen.
No.
What was the wedding experience like? So we had planned on getting married while he was in tech school. I think we planned on that for a while. Like that was the plan. And so wedding experience, we just went to the courthouse in Wichita Falls, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
So we show up at the courthouse and we pay the county clerk for the license and filled out some paperwork, and then we went upstairs and paid the justice of the peace, and he married us. It was really, really simple and low-key, and then afterward we went to Dallas and got a nice fancy dinner.
Yes, and
Dinner?
it was good.
It was like lunch.
Yep.
How long did it take for you to get called to basic training?
Well, when you sign up, you get put into DEP, and it's delayed
Entry program.
Yep. And for me, it was like between the time I first talked to the recruiter and leaving for basic, I believe it was about 6 months, which is pretty good. I think
it's
about
pretty
an
normal.
average.
I think.
Yeah, sometimes you're in DEP from 6 to almost a year, and it depends on your job and
it's possible for you to go to basic almost immediately. Like if you go open general or something like that.
That's security forces pretty much.
Well, right, but so if it depends, if you talk to your recruiter and you want a more guaranteed job like you got, which was basically like he didn't want to go to basic until he knew what job he was going to get.
Yeah, if I was going to join the military, I wasn't going to join without knowing what I was going to do, and it was going to be a job that I wanted to do.
So it took him a little bit more time to actually go to basic than I guess anybody who would be willing to go whenever. So if you went like open general or open mechanic or anything like that, I think you go a little bit sooner.
Yeah, and then you get your job there while you're in basic.
Right, and your job is assigned to you while you're in basic. But you got a phone call when you were on vacation, remember? And your recruiter was like, hey, this guy, he was going to go to basic tomorrow, but he broke his leg or something like that, so he can't go. Do you want to go? And so that happens too. It's possible for you to go like immediately, but I don't think that's a common thing to happen. That's just if you're lucky. So I guess that's basically it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So now we're going to have lunch. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you have any more questions for us, I guess you could just put them down below or find me on Twitter or on Instagram. I'm totally active in like all of the social media. All the time. So if you have any questions, just let me know, and if you have any questions for Blake, let me know and then I'll ask him, because we're together again. Yay! Okay, so we're going to eat some lunch and we'll talk to you guys soon.